I'm actually excited about this video. This will be going up tomorrow. I'm filming it Saturday. My grocery store roleplay went up before. This will be going up tomorrow, Sunday. But I actually got some garage sale pickups. It's funny because my fiance drove me a few. And there's one right around the corner. It was one I'd been to. I guess they maybe do it every year. And I was like, oh, they're not. It was like just about 9 and they weren't completely set up. So I was like, you know what? Whatever, I've been to that one. So I went to some other ones. The one at a 360 I had no interest in because it had its power cable and its other bullshit, but I don't like picking up systems like that if I feel like I'm going to struggle to sell them and then it's just taking up a bunch of space and I gotta hope it works. I didn't even ask about it, so I don't know how much it would have been. If it was maybe like $10, sure, but, you know. Then I hit another... 2 or 3, I can't remember, 2 or 3, nothing doing them. We went and did some stuff and then came back home, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to walk back to that one. It's right around the corner. It's a fucking like 3-minute walk. I walk there and boom, there's like I see it right when I'm walking. Because you go down, some people might not have seen this garage sale, there was signs up, but this house, there's houses along this one street that their driveways like go down, like their backyards are like sunken in. So you might not see it from street level. So I saw a stack of games when I was walking down the driveway. I was like, oh shit, and I saw some fucking good stuff. I was pumped. I ended up getting, there was a lot, mostly PS3 stuff. There was PlayStation 1, some 360, a Genesis game, which I grabbed, a Nintendo game, I think it was Track and Field 2. I didn't bother with that. And, that's like 1 or 2 Xbox One games. But, I think it was like Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, I think. Anyway, I got 8 games for $10. The first one, the Genesis game. It's hard driving. Not really an expensive game. It's like $10 to $15. It is complete. The way they did some of these Genesis games, I think this is Tengen, yeah, so it's like they put them in this cardboard box and you gotta pull this out. There's the game. Manual. I don't think I ever played this when I was a kid. I might have, but I don't know. I say a complete Genesis that game though. I'm grabbing it. I said these games end up being $1.25 a piece, so they were all worth it for sure. So I had to pick them all up. But yeah. Next game was the 360 game that I've played some of. I played a lot of the first one, and I do have these on rare replay now. But I know it has like $15, $20 in value. This game used to have more value, but it's Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise, the second one. It's got some manual there. I'm pretty sure I think all these are complete. And I like it because these discs are in a pretty damn good shape. I really enjoyed the first Viva Pinata. It's like a fucking kind of building game. You get a garden and then you gotta dig and you can put little lakes and you gotta lure the pinata in. They're all shaped like animals. I forget their names. Like worm. Like a worm's crawled like a worm. And they all have like names like that. And there's harder pinatas to get to bring in. You gotta do certain tasks and you have to have certain animals and you can breed the animals and stuff and you can buy stuff for your garden. You gotta smack sick pinatas with your shovel and kill them and then they burst and you hear kids laughing as they burst into fucking... These are the bad guys here that will like come in. You gotta smack them with the shovel too. These 3 here are kind of like with like the mascots almost. I forget their fucking names. Let's see if it has any inside the manual here. Full color manual, always nice to see. Yeah, you gotta plant seeds and stuff. Get different, certain like animals, like certain things and shit. The first one came out pretty early in the Xbox's 360's life. I remember I had it in like 06. And really actually enjoyed it. No, I'm not saying it. I think there's some online components as well. Definitely cool though. The next two are PS3 games, so I can't test them. So these are strictly to sell. First one is Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year edition, so I guess this has the game, Undead Nightmare, and multiplayer as well. I never played Undead Nightmare. My friend always is like, you gotta play it. Even to this day, he still says it. Oh, it says the map too, sweet. It's just the greatest hits. I always like the red of PlayStation on here, the greatest hits. Yeah, in the PS2 era, it was just like the red up top. Now the whole fucking case is red. I heard this game is awesome. When that come out? 2010, I believe. The second one was another enjoyable game I liked, but the first one was much better. And it's Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. So he was a Star Killer here. I don't know if they made these games canon. I kind of hope they didn't, because he's ridiculously fucking overpowered. Is it the first one or this one where you pull down a fucking Star Destroyer? And the game is fun as shit, especially the first one, just doing crazy shit. The first one you play as Vader too. I don't know if you play as Vader in this one. But the force powers are fucking ridiculous, which I guess they should be. But to try to put these as canon, it's like really like Vader had his hidden apprentice. And I think the game gets a few alternate endings. You do lose, though. I think maybe you take out Vader, but then you lose, or maybe the Emperor fucks you up. I forget, but I forget the guy who kind of helps you too, because you're bad and then you become good. I think you might be a clone actually in this one. Spoilers, I forget. Maybe you got killed and there was another one. It was Star Wars shit, right? It's a cool fucking game though. It's Sam Witwer. I think Sam Witwer's playing Star Killer. He was in that show, Being Human. The American version is a British show as well. It's like a ghost, a vampire, I think, and a werewolf living in a house. This was not $28. Both these games sell for like 10 to 15 bucks. Like I said, for $1 and a quarter. They had a couple of support games. There's a few. I maybe should grab more. I have a problem with that. I'm not. There's like a couple Rainbow Six games there as well. It might have been Vegas, and I forget the other one. And the next four, I was kind of the most excited about. PlayStation 1 games, I saw those and immediately grabbed them. First one is Midway presents Arcade's Greatest Hits. So this is the Atari Collection 1, so it has Asteroids, Missile Command, Super Breakout, Battlezone, Centipede, and Tempest. I've played some of these. Asteroids, Battlezone, Centipede, and Missile Command. I've never played. I might have played Tempest or Super Breakout at some point. Like I said, these are all complete as well. I had an Atari 7800 back in the day. It was actually a system that I kept in Florida that I would go, use when we went down there in the house down there. But that I was in the house that I go to in Florida. My family bought that. My mom, grandma, and aunt built that house. Had that house built in like '86. And now my mom's in the same area. They built a house, and then my aunt just owns the old house. But anyway, yeah, I had a 7800 down there, which I used to play shit at Choplifter, and not Choplifter, Moon Patrol, and Food Fight were fucking awesome. And I remember I had my mom send me that stuff up like 10, 15 years ago to sell. Second game is Need for Speed High Stakes. I've never played this. or the other one. Actually, I've technically, well, yeah, I've played some of the one, but I haven't played. These discs are all in pretty good shape. These I will test because I can. I have the PS2. Yeah, some of the cases have some cracks on them and shit, but I think the person thought these were like CDs. I was like, no, they're video games. The next two are kind of like the prizes of the pick. The first one is Resident Evil Director's Cut. This is the greatest hits version. Apparently, this one sells for like 30 to 40. Apparently, the black label one sells for like $70 to $80. But I guess this added in the support for the DualShock analog controller that they introduced later in the PlayStation's life, and they added the analog. Let's see, new camera angles and character graphics. 3 action-packed difficulty levels. I don't know. Like I said, I've played some of this. The original, like, version, like the first Resident Evil game I ever played was 2 on the N64, and then I had played the remake. I played the remake before I played 3 and Code Veronica. No, actually, I'm sorry. I played Code Veronica before 3 in the remake, because the remake came out May 2002. I had gotten that Dreamcast I talked about for $20, because Dreamcast was fucked. And I got Code Veronica then and played it. And then I played 3 on the Dreamcast as well, I believe, because I'm pretty sure there's a port of 3 on the Dreamcast. But my first experience with the original was the remake on the GameCube. That's what I was trying to say. That tells you. We got Jill Valentine, Brad Vickers, Wesker, Richard Aiken, Becca Chambers, Enrico Marini. I assume Chris is on this page. No. Forrest Spire, Kenneth Chase. I don't even remember some of these people. Oh, wait, no. Oh, there they are, duh. I was like, where the fuck's Barry and Chris? Barry, Chris, and Joseph Frost. Oh, this is the bios. This is Alpha Team, and then there should be a Bravo Team. I'm sorry, Bravo Team is that's why I wasn't recognizing them. Bravo Team's the group that ended up being in Resident Evil 0. They're the ones that originally go to the mansion, and then the Bravo Team, or the whatever fuck, Alpha Team, goes to check it out and help them. It's like the teeth are a little broken here. This one has a crack as well, but apparently at some point it was $14. Definitely fucking cool though. I mean, come on. And this one here, I'm kind of excited just to play because I do love these fucking games, the NES ones and Super Nintendo Genesis ones, but it's Tecmo Super Bowl. It looks different. I know it's in 3D, obviously, but graphically, it doesn't have the same, side to side camera, which is what made Tecmo Bowl so fucking cool. It wasn't up, down, or on an angle. So I don't know how that's gonna play. I do want to try it out. This is another game that's like fucking $30, $35. Which always, when you see a sport game with value, it's always a bit rarer to find sport games that hold any kind of real value. I'm happy to get this one, but I'm actually happy to play this one. I want to try this one out. Because I do love fucking Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES is probably like the best, but like Tecmo Super Bowl on the Super Nintendo and Genesis is also good. And then I have Tecmo Super Bowl 2 for Super Famicom, and I have Tecmo Super Bowl 3 for the Genesis. And the original only had the 12 teams. And then Tecmo Super Bowl, I think, and then forward had both the NFLPA license and the NFL license, so they had the players and the fucking team names they could use. The first Tecmo Bowl only had the players license, so you had all the players. Got some Bears and a Raider on here. I don't think that's supposed to... No, it couldn't be Bo Jackson. He was already fucking retired from his fucked up... he broke his hip in that playoff game. But yeah, this has a fucking refined polygon graphics. I'm curious to see how that plays, if it has that same Tecmo. Tecmo Super Bowl had a certain gameplay that was fucking awesome. So I don't know if that translates to these kind of graphics. But I'll find out. still pick up, but I haven't gotten anything since I got, that was early August, I got the Mario Maker, that Sonic game for the DS, and Mario Galaxy, so, and those three were $7, these fucking 8 or 10, so, hell of a fucking deal for good fucking games, and yeah, thanks for checking us out, and have a good day.